Class, my name is Brianna Wooliver, and this is my final multimedia project. I'm going to talk about what I have learned and what I will take with me from this class. Starting off strong with short stories and novels. First, Scar by Amy Tan. The key takeaways were that it was a close look into traditional Chinese culture, the concepts of reputation and dignity. For example, Anmei's mother breaks societal norms and is then shunned from the family as a result. The power of silence is highlighted by the elder Popo declaring her mother a ghost. Quote, "In those days, a ghost was anything we were forbidden to talk about." End quote. Daughter of a Queen by Sarah Bird. What stood out to me the most about this story is that the author is a white woman and the book is written from the perspective of an African American woman. With immense research and interviews, writing outside of the culture of oneself is absolutely attainable. Perforated Sheet by Salman Rushdie. This story stood out to me as a metaphor. The hole in the sheet can represent the small amount known about a certain culture, and how we cannot know about a culture from a mere 5 or 10%. History, at many times, is subjective and formed by many things all put together. Thank You Ma'am by Langston Hughes explores themes of morality, upbringing, and background. Poverty can make people do things they aren't proud of out of a means of survival. In the story, Mrs. Jones tells Roger, quote, "You ought to be my son, I would teach you right from wrong," end quote. Mrs. Jones ends up turning a bad situation into a connection and a lesson for Roger. The All-American Slurp by Lindsay Namioka. This story in particular shows cultural norms between different cultures. Different foods are unpleasant to each culture, and both have a different sense of etiquette. The main takeaway I had from this story is to reinforce the idea that no culture is superior to another, and that all cultural groups have similar habits, they're just expressed differently. Lastly, Indian Education by Sherman Alexie illustrates how Native American students are alienated in schools and how this is fueled by systemic racism. An example of this is the school demanding Junior cut his hair. Quote, "She sent a letter home with me that told my parents to either cut my braids or keep me home from class." End quote. Textbooks/historical works. A Different Mirror by Ronald Takaki highlights multicultural perspectives to tell the U.S. history. I learned the most from this work, and it explains that America has always consisted of people from all different ethnicities and cultures. One quote that stood out to me specifically, quote, "It was an annoying question, but one I had been asked frequently during my life, 'Where are you from?' End quote, shows how minorities are treated as foreigners in their own country." Both of the provided textbooks strengthened my writing skills and gave me the confidence I needed to write my cross-cultural short story. Excerpts from Writing Around the World, A Guide to Creative Writing Across Cultures by Matthew McCool showed specifically how cross-cultural writing can be done. It also does a good job of explaining how writing differs across cultures and why. Form, style, logic, and ethics all come into play to provide an overview on intercultural writing. Personal impacts that I will take with me from this class. Mindful reading, consider my own cultural lens, prioritizing empathetic understanding, no judgment, and the ability to put myself in the shoes of others. Intentional writing, moving beyond surface-level tropes to create authentic and respectful works, accurately representing characters and experiences outside those of my own. Embracing opportunity, adapting my communication style, embracing differences, and focusing on understanding. And then lastly, vast research. Research is arguably the most important aspect of multicultural writing. It ensures accurate representation and helps build authentic characters, setting, and dialogue. Here are my works cited for the quotes that I used. Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to watch the rest of your guys' presentations.